for them, and I got recruited for a reason that Jay and Garrett wanted me here, so I've just been kind of doing my thing and letting everything just play out as they should.
The SEC and SEC Network.
The other athletes as well, Shilese Jones, for those of you who follow elite gymnastics, also was injured in that process. Sky Blakely was on the doorstep of that Olympic team.
Yeah.
In fact, what she had done through the championships, all she had to do was be average the rest of the way, and she would have been an Olympian. So heartbreaking for all of them, but great to see them back. Now the Florida Gators, they got themselves a little bit of a hole to dig out of. If you're going to start digging out, you might as well start with Anya Pilgrim.
Well, they have 6'10" ovals, really strong lineup.
How about that for a start?
Great leadoff. Head coach Jenny Rowland said she had too much juice last weekend, and they've really been working in the gym on taking the emotions out and trusting in your training. What she means by that is when you salute and there's thousands and thousands of fans watching you, you can only imagine the extra adrenaline you're going to have in comparison to practice.
Saw her lead off things on vault for LSU. She's going to lead things off here on the uneven bars as well. It's Lexi Zeiss.
Tall order for this freshman to be a lead off on multiple events. Doing a good job. Needing to get these handstands and pirouettes to vertical. Couldn't ask for anything more from this freshman, though. She is doing outstanding here as an LSU Tiger.
And I know it's only one routine for both of these teams in the second rotation, but this is what you expect. Stuff landing, big fall, big bar routine to lead off, and you just want to see that energy build. Lexi Zeiss out of TCT, Twin City Twisters Gymnastics in Minnesota. Club that has produced many an elite and outstanding collegiate gymnast. Now here's a young athlete, only 16 years old. Here's Lee Bowie.
Yurchenko 1.5. Nice recovery at the end there. She was really quick to stop moving, which sometimes is difficult to do.
For our women's collegiate basketball Sunday afternoon doubleheader, Stanford takes on number 16 Duke at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on ESPN2 from Cameron Indoor Stadium. Then number 2 South Carolina hosts number 13 Oklahoma at 3 Eastern on ESPN. Ashley Cowan, now the next gymnast here for LSU, follows a very good start score, 9.825 for Lexi Zeiss. Couldn't hang with that Anya Pilgrim, though, 9.925 rather, in the leadoff spot for the Gators.
Well, last weekend was probably the best bar routine I've ever seen from Ashley. Every detail was dialed in, legs glued together, hoping to repeat that here with another stuck landing. Couldn't quite hang on. When you land on the mat, you really want to absorb the mat. Bend your knees, make sure your chest and your knees are in the correct position to help you stick.
Ashley is the 2024 SEC uneven bar champ. Second gymnast up in the rotation. You got an SEC champ.
Not too bad.
It's an embarrassment of riches right there.
Yeah. I think that's the exact phrase that Garrett Griffith used earlier today.
They have got some talent, both of these teams. Lee Bowie, 9.85. Sloan Blakely now for the Gators.
They're looking to see control. A little wonky when she landed, but
is that a technical
really
term?
tall. I think it's a gymnastics term that everyone watching would understand. She looked a little surprised.
Adrian Burdett, the coach at the end of the vault mat, we were talking to him today. Ran into him at Starbucks, you know, who would have thought? And he was just talking about last year when he wrote on the whiteboard how, in his colorful words, how he wasn't thrilled with how they were landing their vaults. He said the moment he did that on, they stuck their vaults all the time. So we'll see. Maybe that'll carry over into 2025 for them. Alexis Jeffrey now follows a 9.825, a pair of 9.825s for the Tigers.
She was formerly in that leadoff competition, leadoff spot here on bars, but they thought that she could score a little bit higher further back. Didn't compete last weekend, though. her struggle with this dismount in the warm-up. She needs to get the rotation all the way around.
You said struggle with that, and she is a mile in the air. I don't think I've seen anybody do that dismount that high.
She gets so much height, but it's not just about the height. It's also about getting the rotation all the way around is what the judges want to see, but good combination in the middle of her routine, and this is where you can see her feet and her knees going a little cockeyed, but does, again, these athletes are professionals. Even if they're a little crooked, they want to sell it when they salute.
Not wonky, though. That was not wonky?
Well, you can't use the same word twice.
Gotcha. I have seen the crown get stuck in the hair a lot in the last 3 weeks. Can we investigate why the crown keeps getting stuck, the stick crown? Leanne Wong, when she goes on vault, a little bit of a different vault than we've seen from a lot of the other athletes.
It's still a 10.0. Found off, half on, front pike off, and that is money. It's a beautiful hop. Last weekend, she just had the smallest scooch, and I want to see, did she stick this? Oh.
Gotta take a half. Gotta take a half.
Scooch right there. But really good job dialing it in.
Felt like Florida really needed to step it up after that first rotation. Don't let this thing get out of hand early, and they've done that on vault. But LSU on bars, they are rolling as well. Kaylin Chio, the freshman, now it's her turn.
Last week she scored a 9.9 on this event, and oh man. So she cast it over, which is obviously a mistake. That's half of a point of a deduction, 5/10. But as most coaches will say, and what Jay will most likely say, is that great job, it was an aggressive mistake. And early in the season, that's what these coaches are asking from their athletes. Kaylin's not going to see it that way right now.
It was a 1 degree from a perfect handstand, but that 1 degree was all it took. It was the tipping point.
But good job recovering. Sometimes athletes that have a mistake play it tight.
Wow, she is going right at those handstands.
Still going for it. Love that. Really aggressive bar worker. And man, she is a monster with these sticks.
That's her first major break of her collegiate career, and the ironic part was that rest of that routine was incredible, and she's 1 degree away from being fantastic again.
Agreed, and I think she's stuck more routines than she has taken a step on, so her average is still incredibly high, but I'm guessing she's not going to be too happy.
Danny Ferris now on vault. Leanne Wong, a 9.925, so a pair of 9.925 for the Gators, a pair of 9.85s. Low score, a 9.85. That's tremendous. They're squeezing down that lead that the Tigers had.
And this is the #1 vaulter in the country right now. Doesn't quite find the landing as smoothly as she did last weekend, but still should be a good score for Florida.
It'll be interesting. She's got to hold that finish position for a full second in the direction that she landed. She took that hop, and I don't know if it wasn't a full second, that will be additional deductions. We'll see if we can figure that out when the judges' score comes up. 1 left to go. Selena Harris Miranda will anchor the vault rotation for the Gators. Here's Kaylin Chio's 9.225. Again, if you're just joining us, the lightly shaded scores on the right are the scores they drop. They count the top 5 scores, does each team on each event. So like the Gators on bars, the Tigers are also going to try to drop that mistake. Here is Aaliyah Finnegan. If you want anybody up after a miss, I feel like this is the person, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. She had so much experience. Huge release move to get things going. And sometimes athletes play it safe after a fall, and I'm not seeing that from Aaliyah.
Wow, that was a save.
I wonder what's going on with these bars. All these athletes are struggling on the low bar, but I like how aggressive these athletes are being. New dismount for her right there. Definitely not her her best, but she needed to stay on the equipment, and she did. Look at that.
Right hand just looked like it came off, Sam.
Yeah, that was strange. But wow, the amount of strength to recover from that, not hit your feet on the ground, pretty impressive.
So it was a .325 lead for LSU after the first rotation. Based on what Florida is doing on vault, that lead is going to shrink, if not evaporate, as the last gymnast to go here, Selena Harris-Miranda. She follows Danny Ferris's 9.825.
Coaches said she was nervous last weekend, and she can breathe now.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, that is exactly the type of vault we know Selena can do. She just does really well in this anchor position. Knowing that there's more pressure on her, that's all I can say. She's an athlete.
Yeah, she is special. Came into college as the #1 freshman in that class, and the Gators certainly thrilled to have her on their team now. Connor McClain coming back from that Achilles tear. Talk about someone that can execute gymnastics. The form and the beauty of her gymnastics is second to none, and she's going to have to be on top of it here. Leah Finnegan, a 9.825.
She had that torn Achilles that she's coming back from. Doesn't quite have the numbers that some of the other athletes on the team have, but she's an athlete that doesn't need that. She is just so clean. Her form is next level. No built-in deductions is what I like to call it. Be a huge score. I didn't see any visible deductions. I'm curious what the judges are going to do with this.
Where is she, Waldo? He's in the crowd. Connor McClain, I'll tell you what, she needed a 9.775 for LSU to get the lead, and she did.
That couldn't be more vertical if you tried. Her shoulders are open, her hips are open. Great work.
Those blank books.